The Michigan High School Athletic Association and Pass Sports present the Boys Basketball Finals. Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, True Value Hardware, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program, the Michigan Abstinence Partnership, and the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Michigan. Always a great pick. Always Coca-Cola.
From the Breslin Student Event Center in East Lansing, the Michigan High School Athletic Association presents the Class A championship game in the 1995 boys basketball tournament between the Vikings of Flint Northern and the Doughboys of Detroit Pershing. Hi again, everyone. I'm Rick Berkey alongside for the third game in our Finals Fest. We've already had two champions crowned, and we've got one more to go after this one. Let's look back and see what we've seen so far. In Class D earlier today, Detroit Holy Redeemer defeated Crystal Falls Forest Park by a count of 55-46. That was followed by the Class C championship contest, which saw Ishpeming defeat Lakeview 69-61. You see the score there, Ishpeming winning by 8 points in a wild game that supplied a new state championship record with 14 combined three-point baskets, and also an individual 9 by Ishpeming also set a record. Then later tonight at 7:30, you see our finale, Detroit Country Day taking on East Grand Rapids in that one. Now we get ready for the Class A championship. The Doughboys of Pershing are in their 4th straight championship game appearance. They've won 2 of the last 3, and Flint Northern, on the other hand, won 3 straight crowns back in the 1970s. 2 of them under the irrepressible Bill Frieder. But right now we've got the Class A championship just moments away. And so for an in-depth preview of what should be a high-scoring affair, let's go courtside. The two guys will call it, Ray Lay and John Spooner.
Rick Berkey, thanks very much. Hi, everybody. Once again, nice to have you back here. John Spooner's on my right here. We've got a Viking team of Flint Northern with a record of 25-1. 22-3 belong to the Pershing Doughboys of Detroit. Doughboys in a 19-game consecutive winning streak, and coming to this game, Flint Northern and a 20-game winning streak. But all the marbles for this one right now, John, the state championship. And when we looked and talked about up-tempo, what does that mean for this game?
Well, if I can get some help from the guys in the truck, you see we've got a full-length shot of the court. Now, up-tempo means this, about 200 times during this game, and I guarantee as fast as my finger went up and down, that's about as fast as these fellows will go up and down the court.
Folks, that means the audio portion is not that important. You're just going to watch action up and down. Let's talk about action that comes from one of the players on Flint Northern. And this guy plays above the rim at every college in the country was looking for him.
Ray Antonio Smith, number 33 for Flint Northern, owns the interior of the basket. He averages 20 points a game, 20 rebounds a game. 12 of those rebounds are offensive. This young man for Flint Northern is an outstanding athlete and will do Michigan State very proud in the years to come.
So he's just breaking in on this court right now. Got a by the name of Charles LaSure, young man that plays back at the point, does a lot of shooting for Southwestern.
Well, Charles LaSure got some playing time last year. He's the team captain, a 5'8" junior. Scored 20 points, 5 assists, 5 steals in a semifinal win over Detroit Cooley yesterday, Ray. And he is also an outstanding player. It's up to him to control the tempo because he will be handling the ball for Pershing.
Folks, we've got a bona fide shootout in Class A. We'll talk more about it. Let's move back upstairs to Rick.
Should be a good one. Back with the starting lineups in just a moment. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware. Thanks for joining us here on Pass. We hope you're ready to enjoy the Class A championship between Northern and Pershing. Get ready for a good one. Right now, let's go down for the starting lineups to public address announcer Eric O. Forsythe.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we invite you to stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and caps and join us in the singing of our national anthem, featuring today soloist Christy Davert of Bay City Western High School, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Christy Davert, Bay City Western High School. As you can see, Christy had a little accident, but despite that, did a great job on the national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Michigan State University and the Jack Breslin Student Event Center for today's final game in the 1995 Michigan High School Athletic Association Class A Boys Basketball Tournament. A recent survey revealed that the #1 reason youngsters take part in high school sports is to have fun, not to be #1. That's why good sports are winners. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for today's game between the Vikings of Flint Northern and the Doughboys of Detroit Pershing. For Flint Northern at forward, 6'5" junior, number 4, Robert Smith. For Pershing at forward, 6'3" senior, 34, Ram Adams. For the Vikings at forward, 6'3" senior, 32, Deontay Harvey. For the Doughboys at forward, 6'4" senior, 44, Clarence Odom. For Flint Northern at center, 6'8" senior, 33, Antonio Smith. For Pershing at center, 6'9" junior, 32, Winfred Walton. For Northern at guard, 5'7" senior, number 10, Torrey Gist. For Pershing at guard, 5'8" junior, number 4, Charles LaSure. The other guard for Northern, 6'1" junior, 24, Mateen Cleaves. And for Pershing at guard, 5'11" senior, Robin Anderson. Head coach of the Flint Northern Vikings, Tony Holliday. Head coach of Detroit Pershing is Johnny Ghostin. Your officials for today's game, Lamont Simpson and Brett Wajenki. Alternate, Dennis Boswick.
And there are the officials. There we go for Seth. We're talking about. They're working the Class A game. And our starting quintet from each side as Northern goes with the Smith brothers. Harvey, Gist, and Cleaves. Keep an eye on Cleaves there. Adams, Odom, and Walton, the front line for Pershing. Sure will put it up. Anderson probably will go to the bench early, only because that's the way the little strategy, and you'll keep an eye on Williams that'll come in here. So how did they get here? Well, John, they had a not real close call, but maybe the closest one might have been the Detroit Cooley game.
Well, Detroit Cooley last night in the semifinals was a tough game. They had beaten Cooley in overtime to win the Detroit Public School League Championship. The Southfield-Lathrop game was a double overtime game. That also was a tight one. So Pershing has not had the normal waltz through the playoffs that they've had in previous years.
Saginaw, Mount Pleasant, Grand Rapids, Ottawa Hills, and Kalamazoo Central in the semis have been the victims of the Flint Northern Vikings coming into this one. And the inside game, we'll keep an eye on the two guys working at center today. Antonio Smith, we talked about, at 6'8". Winfred Walton at 6'9" for Pershing. And it goes over to Pershing. Odom trying to go baseline, puts it up, uses the glass, and gets a quick 2.
That's the up-tempo transition that we see from Detroit Pershing. That is what they want to do. They create off the dribble.
I'll tell you, there was a place was Gist coming in, putting it up, and knew where he was going. Torrey Gist.
You're not going to see a whole lot of fundamental defense from either team, but what both teams have got to work on is at least to establish some kind of consistency.
Well, we talked about up-tempo. That's what you're seeing right now. And Antonio Smith gets his first 2.
He averages 20 rebounds a game. 12 of those are offensive. He owns a 5-foot radius in the interior, and if he's the one that gets on track offensively for Northern, they have a great shot in this championship game.
Using the drive was Adams. His shot wouldn't go, but he gets his own rebound. Loose ball on the floor just temporarily there. And Anderson takes a shot and hits at the top of the key. Robin Anderson.
Neither team played each other during the year, but they did have common opponents.
Walton with the first block in this game. And a quick pass to Anderson. A little underhand layup, but he gets his 3rd and 4th points.
Good aggressive basketball will force turnovers, will also create the tempo, and that's what Pershing does well by going up court quickly. That time, Northern did not get back on defense.
Just shot won't go. Rebound at that time by the Doughboys with the long pass, and they'll turn it right back over to Flint Northern. You're talking about common opponents. You can read something into that, can't you?
You can, but it's awfully hard. For example, Saginaw Buena Vista beat Detroit Pershing 69-61 the first game of the year. They later on in the year lost to Flint 76-60. Clarkston probably would be the best tale. Pershing lost to them 59-50 or beat them in the quarters, and Northern beat them 64-60.
Cleaves had the ball stripped, and again, Anderson being very involved and probably more involved than he has been in the last 3 games, in the early stages of the last 3 games. Cleaves with that layup.
This is a much more up-tempo type game than Flint Northern has been used to during the playoffs.
There's Cleaves this time. Anderson had hit for Pershing, and Cleaves coming back in there and drawing the first foul.
We highlighted Antonio Smith, but this young man, Mateen Cleaves, is a strong, strong player. He started as a 9th grader. You see him go in hard, focusing, concentrating, takes it into the big fella. Mateen is the starting quarterback for the football team for Flint Northern, so he knows what it's like to go at hard people.
Hits on that first free throw and has his first point. Now, Winfred Walton picked up the foul. Here's a guy that's going to have to stay foul-free, I think, in this game, only because he's the guy that's going to be on Smith in the pivot, and I think they can't afford to lose him. Gets a loose ball, puts it in, and draws a foul. Winfred Walton.
Well, they can't afford to lose him because he really is the singular strength in the interior. For Northern, they have 2 people, Robert Smith as well as Antonio Smith. But Walton is the key. You see him drive to the hole strong. Robert getting there a little bit too late. Number 4 for Northern. The basket is good. Walton being a lot more aggressive in this game than he was in the semifinals against Cooley.
Robert Smith picks up the foul. Walton's free throw was good. A total of 4 points for him. And Pershing with a 12-7 lead. As this one's flicked away and right over at our viewing area. Johnny Ghostin, like nothing better. Hey, he's got the royal blue suit on today.
And that's a new one. We haven't seen that on him before.
May have to return it tonight if it doesn't win. Okay, we'll find out. Mateen with that real quick move, put up the shot, got a little iron, and it drops in. Mateen Cleaves.
Great head fake to the right, crossover dribble to the left, got open for the jump shot.
And look out if this guy gets hot. I'm talking about Cleaves at the other end. Busted in there and drawing the foul is Ram Adams, the 6'3", 168-pound forward for the Doughboys.
Ram Adams, all these players will take it in strong. Nice crossover dribble. Ram going in strong. What happened is that Winford Walton got good position inside. Deontay Harvey for Flint Northern did not establish any kind of defensive movement when he got faked out, and that left Smith alone on him, and Smith picked up his first personal foul.
Antonio Smith with his first personal foul. Flint Northern with 2 team fouls, Pershing with 1. And Adams converts on that one. See how quickly Flint Northern gets right back down on the court. They don't waste any seconds.
Well, the difference is Northern is willing to set up in a half-court offense. Pershing is just going to force it anyway, no matter what.
Walton blocking on Smith. Smith puts it up, and Robert's shot won't go. Just with the rebound, and the little guy, almost had it. Antonio Smith there for the rebound. It puts it in.
Antonio Smith is a senior this year. The last 2 years in the semis, he was on the Flint Northern team that lost. Yesterday, he had a season high of 27 points in the semifinal victory against Kalamazoo.
Firing from way outside as Adams loves it. He gets a 3 there. And Pershing takes a 17-12 lead with 4:04 to go in the opening quarter. Cleaves, great move underneath. Wouldn't drop for him. And Adams down with a rebound for Pershing. LeSure over to Adams. Adams' loop pass goes astray. Caught his pivot man moving that time, and that was Walton. Walton was coming left. Walton's complaining that somebody had a hold of my wrist, but it's a turnover. Now you're talking about Smith. Antonio Smith with that big game yesterday. Robert Smith, Antonio Smith, and Cleaves combined for 74 of the 94 points in that semifinal victory over Kalamazoo Central. Well, those 3 guys had to be sleeping pretty good. We're going to get a jump ball here as Walton blocking against that time Antonio Smith, the possession arrow belonging
Winford Walton
to Flint Northern.
Watch Winford Walton. He does not leave his feet on the fake. That's an excellent, disciplined player. And Antonio Smith thought he was up in the air, but he wasn't. Came down with a nice block.
Antonio crossing, just has it partially blocked by Walton, but it was effective. 3-on-2 for Pershing. Back into the corner, and a little layup with the open man is Robin Anderson. Anderson with 8 points. Keep in mind, Pershing's turned the ball over 3 times. Flint Northern zip. Trying to draw the foul in there. And they call a jump ball. They're going to call it a foul.
Thing for Antonio Smith here, he cannot get frustrated by getting all these shots blocked. He cannot think of anything except do what he does well. That's take it in strong. He cannot be frustrated. Sooner or later, he's going to get fouled. Sooner or later, he's going to get something to go down. If he gets frustrated, starts changing his game, Ray, then that changes the whole thing for Flint Northern.
Antonio, a 56% shooter from the free throw line. Hits on the first one, hits on the second one. And Adams, by the way, Ram Adams, picked up the foul. And 2 points on the 2 free throws by Antonio Smith to make it a 19-14 game. Pershing on top. The howitzer loaded up and fired. Wouldn't go with the rebound. And Walton goes above the rim. Then comes back down and taps it in.
Yesterday in the semifinals against Cooley, We were talking about how Winfred Walton had to be a lot more aggressive on the offensive boards. And so far in this game, he's determined to come out and prove that there's not only one big man on the court in Antonio Smith, but Winfred Walton can play ball too.
Errant pass coming in there as they turn it over underneath the offensive basket and back to Pershing.
Keep in mind, Walton is only a junior.
Well, sure, feeding out that time to Anderson. He finally missed one. And Cleaves dishes off to Antonio Smith. Smith will get the bucket, and he'll draw the foul. Wise play there.
Absolutely. Mateen realizes a little bit out of position. Nice spin dribble. See where he is up in the air, but he realizes the man behind him got the good block position. Antonio Smith just looked to the basket. He owns the interior. They've got to keep doing that. Keep going inside. Don't get frustrated. Don't lose their confidence in that type of game.
Tone Massey checks in for Flint Northern now. And he comes in for his first action. Jason Poe, number 24, in for Pershing. And a little bit of rest for the big guy. In the middle, Winfred Walton.
If Northern has done any scouting of this Pershing team, they know that Pershing is a very tough first quarter team. They come out awfully hard. They almost like blitz you. And if Northern can just hang in here and be steady and be confident, they'll be okay.
Poe putting it up, had it partially deflected.
Great hands there by Antonio Smith.
Antonio Smith taking it off the floor. Cleaves would love to pump it, instead goes cross court. And the pass is flicked out of bounds, still belonging to Flint Northern.
And Deontay Harvey might have gotten away with a little travel there. And Northern has a little inbound play. They like to run a screen for Antonio Smith and try to get him inside.
Harvey over in the corner, puts up a three. Too much rim off of it. And Cleaves dishes off. That was a one-time. Cleaves might have had the easy basket. Instead, the long pass comes down, and Odom hits for his first two.
Classic case of being too unselfish at the wrong time.
There's Cleaves driving. Reverse layup. One around two defenders. He's got 6. Well, we've got a minute and 10 left in the opening quarter. Pershing leading 23-19. Pershing in the blue and gold uniforms. Toriano Williams has the ball stolen right out of his hands on the drive by Massey of Flint Northern. Massey with a little 360, gets it just inside the line, tries to use the glass, won't drop for him. And coming down with a rebound, Pershing. And it was Clarence Odom. Doughboys slow it down a little bit. Toriano Williams puts it up, little 8-footer drops, did a pretty good fake that time, but Cleaves is coming right back. The quick outlet back, and 2 quick baskets. Cleaves with 8 points now.
Are you getting out of breath, Ray?
I'm out of breath, brother, and we may go to just filled with music.
Absolutely, up and down the court. This is outstanding basketball in transition. Both teams shooting very well from the field because most of their shots are inside.
Well, sure shot, won't go. It wasn't sure. Rebounded by Antonio Smith. Cleaves puts it up, won't go, but he draws the foul.
Boy, you can sure see the upper body strength of Cleaves. I mean, he had Toriano Williams hanging on his arms, and he still was able to release this. Watch this. As Cleaves comes down, he sees he's got Toriano Williams out of position. He leans into him, creates the foul, and almost got the three-pointer to go.
All right, Torrey just checks into the lineup. Robert Garth in the lineup for Flint Northern.
2 for Cleaves.
And Terry Thomas. Cleaves at the line.
Shooting 71% for the season. Starting quarterback on Flint Northern. You know, this year Flint Northern High School has already had 2 state championships, Ray. Their wrestling team, for the first time in school's history, won the Class A wrestling title. And the girls team this year, Flint Northern girls, won the girls title. So they've got already 2 state championships in the school, and they would like another one here.
Oh, yeah, and congratulations to the Vikings at their athletic program. Trying to keep it going here on the basketball court. with 2.1 seconds remaining. And Cleaves gets another chance. A little lane violation that gave him that second shot. Long shot just before the buzzer. Won't go. Had time for two quick ones, and it wouldn't drop. So we played one quarter here in the Class A championship. Detroit Pershing leading by a score of 25-23 over Flint Northern, and one of your sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance.
So far, it's everything we hoped for and expected with a 25-23 count after one quarter. Rick Berkey alongside with our guest analyst, Marshall Thomas from Saginaw High School. And again, the up-tempo game we expected in early going. A couple of underclassmen, I think, really sparkled. Winford Walton, of course, from the Pershing side, and Mateen Cleaves from Northern.
Walton has been a neutralizer for Antonio Smith so far this first quarter. Maybe somewhat unsuspected, but we'll see if he can do it for the rest of the three quarters. Cleaves has brought on a show that I think everyone was expecting, so he hasn't let anyone down.
You know, what I'm impressed with, Marshall, is not only the up-tempo game, but very few turnovers with that.
Very few turnovers. I would think that probably Northern is not very pleased with themselves in the sense that they've let Pershing have a little bit more leeway than what they would want them to have.
3 more quarters of action. Let's go down courtside once again.
Okay, guys, thanks very much. The turnovers, 2 belonging to Flint Northern, and the Pershing Doughboys have turned it over 4 times. Rebound department, Doughboys with 11 so far off the glass. Flint Northern pulled off a total of 9.
Flint doing a great job handling the Pershing pressure. Only 2 turnovers. Last year in the semifinals when they lost to Pershing, they turned the ball over 22 times against the Pershing pressure. So they're doing a great job here so far in this game, handling the ball and not turning it over against this press.
Walton on the turn-away jumper that time to start off the second quarter. He was a little bit surprised that he got the ball, but still managed to have the good hands, and the turnaround jumper paid off. Cleaves puts it up on a drive.
He has got such great upper body strength that most players aren't capable of doing that kind of shot because they just simply don't have the arm strength. But he is a quarterback for the football team. He lifts weights, obviously, and he's got great strength.
Broke the press and had a 2-on-1. Ball wouldn't drop for Walton, but he draws the foul, and the foul goes against Terry Thomas.
Terry Thomas. Here's Mateen Cleaves driving to the hole. Upper body strength is just tremendous. Great ball control in the air. Now the foul here, this is the enforcer for Flint Northern. Terry Thomas, 6'3", 250 pounds. He just comes in to enforce the lane, sending a message to Winford Walton. Winford Walton very comfortable receiving that message. He's had a great game so far, and he says, hey, you only got four of those left. Can't use them all at once.
Doughboys have sent in their own enforcer, a guy by the name of Bone Willis, 6'4", 250 pounds. He's got to be a fullback or a linebacker, but he'll be plugging up the middle. Walton with 4 rebounds, missed on the first free throw, capitalizes on the second effort. And he's got 11 points. Double teamed over there, somehow managed to get away. Robert Smith's shot won't go. And quick hands that time, and losing it though. And we'll get a foul. The truck is still headed your way. Jason Poe running down one of the defenders of Flint Northern.
See the ball getting knocked around out here. Pershing on a fast break, loses control, actually hits the back of Mateen's foot. He doesn't see it in time, but he gets plastered right there, but he jumps right up. He's used to that, just like a linebacker hitting him on an offside blitz.
Deontay Harvey checks back up in the lineup now for Flint Northern. So Cleaves in the backcourt, bringing the ball up by himself, just on his wing in the left. Inside, they go in the middle. Harvey left alone, almost to the foul. Cleaves loop pass underneath and goes. And that time, Antonio Smith on a reverse slam there.
Well, he knew he had the slower defender against him, so they both read each other so well. And Antonio made a nice flash to the basket, and Mateen just left it right there in the rim.
Walton puts it up, uses lots of glass that time, and it goes for him and drops as he filled it up. 30-27. Detroit Pershing leading by 3 with 6:22 to go in the second quarter. Just puts it up, won't go for him. And coming down with the rebound is Jason Poe for Pershing.
Pershing is also doing a very good job on the defensive boards, Ray. Northern usually a great offensive rebounding team. They're really held down to about 2 or 3 so far in this game. Pershing doing a much better job getting the ball out.
They spread it out now a little bit.
2-3 zone for Northern. Pershing trying to look for the open seams. They can penetrate, maybe get the dish off. What this zone tries to do is get the ball to the corners. They will trap, but if you trap against this, then the offside man should be wide open for a jump shot.
Cole with it, comes right back to LeSueur. Trying to look inside to see if what's happening. Right now at the top of the key, they got Walton there. Now they want to do that. Send Walton down low. And the big guy they have up there is Willis. Instead, Toriano Williams drives and misses. Antonio Smith with the rebound. Cleaves puts it up. Tries for the 3. Won't go. And Harvey's shot won't drop either. Poe comes down for the Detroit Southwestern. Tries to dish it off to Williams. Williams behind his back has it. Finally lays it up and gets a frustrated 2, but he'll take it.
So active around the basket, both these teams. You just can't stay flat-footed. You've got to keep up in the air.
Flint Northern not liking what they just saw. They're going to call a timeout and do so with 4:46 to go in the second quarter. Detroit Pershing leading by 5, 32-27. This is the MHSAA on pass. John, they tried to make something out of a little alley-oop, didn't they?
Well, you get the alley-oop inside to Flint Northern's Antonio Smith. That was a great play that started off with Mateen Cleaves. Those guys read each other so well. Antonio, seeing he's got the weaker man on the baseline, just goes up with a nice soft touch. He's got such great hands, and that probably comes from the fact that he loves playing goalie in soccer. As a matter of fact, earlier on in his career, he'd much rather have played soccer than basketball.
Interesting, interesting. 11 points for Antonio up to this point, with 4:46 to go in the second quarter. Looking inside. Opening there. And you talk about going up and putting it down. Antonio Smith give you an education that time.
Nobody put a body on Antonio Smith. If you don't get a body on him in the lane, he's going to get anything he can with that ball.
And now Flint Northern trying to put the old trap on. Wouldn't go. Traveling's call. That time a little frustration for LeSueur as he tried to get around the big guy, Robert Smith. And Robert just a junior, so he's going to be back for Flint Northern next year. Checking back into the lineup right now, Clarence Odom.
Good drive in by Deontay Harvey, but you see Antonio Smith, Winford Walton right behind him, did not get any kind of body or any position on him. You can't do that against a player like Antonio Smith. He'll make you pay for it every time.
Odom back in the lineup now for Pershing. And his defense is to plug up the middle. And they did that time, at least on one occasion.
Good ball movement.
Shot's just not dropping for Deontay Harvey right now.
You're right, they're not dropping, but at least that was good ball movement, and it gave them an open shot for Deontay Harvey, exposing some of the defensive weakness from Pershing.
Foul is called on Mateen Cleaves. Little elbow came up there. Cleaves was complaining to one of the officials, said, wait a minute, he was throwing his elbow. 4 team fouls in this first half against Flint Northern. 5 for Pershing. A long-range gun wouldn't drop that time for Walton. Here comes Cleaves. Wants to look for an opening. Dishes it off to Gist. And almost had the ball stolen. Pershing applying a lot of pressure now. And then they turn it right back over. Antonio Smith has the ball roll over and out of bounds off the calf of his leg.
Good
Couldn't
call.
find the handle.
Yeah, the official right on top of it. Both teams here in the second quarter getting a little bit sloppy handling the ball. There's no reason for Torrey Gist to hold on to it that long. He's got 2 people inside with Winford Walton, the big man on him at the top of the key. Get it down low so somebody can score with it.
And LeSueur tries to put it up. Instead, Antonio Smith's right back in your face on the block. Flint Northern quickly on a 3-on-2 and had that one go off the foot. And then pushing, just a little frustration, almost couldn't get a balance, reached out and committed the foul.
Nice little give and go there by Mateen Cleaves, but Antonio Smith wasn't able to get a handle on that ball.
Torrey just a little frustrated that time, might have been off balance. Charles Amerson has checked in for Pershing. Amerson doesn't see a lot of action, 5'6", 150 pounds. He'll work out of the backcourt. Just a little breather for some of the Doughboys.
Somebody better get some oxygen tanks at the end of the bench.
Lavelle Hamlin has checked in for Flint Northern, but Tiorno Williams comes through with 2 points.
The weakness of that zone defense is if you take the seam to the hole, nobody's filling in and rotating to the ball. That time, you saw that Detroit Pershing, number 14, Toriano Williams, doing an excellent job getting inside for the easy layup.
On the baseline and out of bounds. That time, good block that time by Walton. Walton talking to his opponent, Antonio Smith. Turnovers this time by Flint Northern, 6. 7 by Pershing, excuse me.
Look at him, he's getting a little bit frustrated. He's just got to relax, do what he does best, and realize that the ball's going to come to him at the best times.
Walton puts it up and scores on it. And they're getting a little trash talking going, especially by Walton, out to his counterpart, Antonio Smith.
Well, the MHSAA has a trash talk taunting rule, and these officials know about it, and they will call it if it gets excessive.
Trigger man to inbound it now for Flint Northern, Lavelle Hamlin.
Body control of the big man, Walton, number 32, is just simply amazing. And as Marshall Thomas said at the quarter break, he did not play like this in the semifinal.
Robert Smith that time tried also to draw the foul, didn't do that, but he got the 2.
And that is big. It's his first points of the game inside. If he can start scoring, Ray, then that will alleviate some of the pressure off Antonio Smith.
Williams trying to go baseline, puts a high arcing shot up there and hits on it. No, he had to do it. And coming right back though, Flint Northern's young little Gist, Torrey Gist. And they needed that one.
Northern putting on a little pressure themselves. Pershing easily beats it.
And Williams comes right back and gets the pair on that little layup shot.
If you're going to double team somebody in the backcourt, you got to make sure to get back on defense.
Quick hands there in the theft, then he is stripped of the ball. And just behind the back, drives, puts it up, won't go. Coming back out to Flint Northern, loose ball. And just with a lot of scrap and diving, tried to save it. It just trickled out of bounds, but he gave 1,000% that time.
I'll tell you, this is the way state championships should be played, Ray. Everybody going 100%, everybody going all out. Here's a nice tip from behind. Flint Northern, Lavelle Hamlin gets his ball. Nice ball handling there by number 10. Kind of forces it, could have dumped it off over to Antonio Smith. Decided to go inside, but Pershing, such great interior defense.
Pershing shooting 61%. Too much dribbling that time, but still managing to save. Lasser dashing it off that time, but the shot wouldn't go for Odom. Cleaves comes down and will draw the foul, and the foul will be on Clarence Odom, doing quite a bit of hacking that time.
Well, we've said it several times. Mateen Cleaves, Flint Northern's quarterback on the football team, behind the back dribble, takes it in hard, and definitely a foul there by number 44, Clarence Odom. Again, you see the concentration. Such a good lesson for young kids. When you're taking the ball to the hole, focus on the basket. Don't worry about the foul. Don't worry about anybody else. Concentrate on finishing the shot.
Okay, Anderson checks in now for Detroit Pershing in the place of Jason Poe. And coming in now for Flint Northern substitution, Antone Massey taking over for Torrey Gist. Mateen Cleaves has his 3rd shot from the line and makes it. So he's had 3 at the charity stripe today to go with his other 10 points from the field. 35 for Northern, Pershing leading by 5, 40-35. We're down to 1 minute remaining in the first half of the Class A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament.
They're now back to a man-to-man full court pressure. If they're going to trap up in the corners, though, they've got to be able to have the rotation back on defense.
Well,
so they get the man open.
Smith that time to Walton. Walton got around him. Walton having a big first half. Now Walton blocks Robert Smith's shot. Turns it right back to Pershing. Williams dishes off the layup, and Odom has it for 2.
I'm sure that Northern did not expect this kind of game from Winfred Walton. Even though he's averaging 20 points, they saw him yesterday against Cooley. He did not play anywhere near like this, and I'm sure he's created some surprise for the Smith brothers inside.
Cleaves was double teamed and still made it down the lane to lay it up. 1.3 left. Williams. No basket. No basket. The buzzer had sounded, and no basket for Williams. So, Pershing leading Flint Northern 44-37 after 1 half of play. By the way, one of your sponsors is the Michigan Abstinence Partnership.
You see the scoring has dropped off slightly, but not the action. And the Pershing Doughboys with a 7-point advantage at halftime of the Class A championship. Earlier today, Detroit Holy Redeemer and Ishpeming High School cashed in on state championships, and now they're getting ready for the Class A crown. You know, every year the Michigan High School Athletic Association honors 2 individuals who have made significant contributions in their lifetime to interscholastic athletics. The Charles Forsythe Award is named for the first full-time director of the association. And for the presentation, let's go to public address announcer Eric
Ladies and
Forsythe.
gentlemen, at this time, we direct your attention to center court, where Roy Allen of Detroit Public Schools and Vice President of the Michigan High School Athletic Association Representative Council will make a special presentation. The Charles E. Forsythe Award is presented annually by the Michigan High School Athletic Association to individuals who have achieved excellence in service to the interscholastic community. More information about the award and this year's honoree may be found in your souvenir program. We are pleased at this time to present this year's recipient, a teacher, coach, athletic director, and game official who served the educational sports community for 40 years. Bob Perry of Lowell has been selected to receive the 1995 Forsythe Award. Perry served as the athletic director at Lowell High School for 22 years after coaching teams at the school in football, basketball, cross country, and track. He was also a registered game official in cross country, track, and field and wrestling. As an athletic director, Perry was also a friend to the officiating community, providing numerous opportunities for young referees in West Michigan to begin their careers. Now retired, he still resides in Lowell. The Michigan High School Athletic Association is pleased to present the Forsythe Award to Bob Perry. Congratulations to Bob Perry, recipient of the 1995 Charles Forsythe Award.
And congratulations to Bob for that well-deserved honor. We've still got more to come. We've got halftime stats and analysis, and we've still got another championship after this one later on tonight at 7:30. So make sure you stick around right here on Pass. Meanwhile, one of your sponsors remains True Value Hardware.
Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, True Value Hardware, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program, the Michigan Abstinence Partnership, and the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Michigan. Always a great pick. Always Coca-Cola.
In an up-tempo contest, the Doughboys have a 7-point advantage over the Vikings of Flint Northern at halftime of the Class A title tilt. Still 2 more exciting quarters to come. A couple of shifts this year in the state championship format for the first time. 4 semifinals on Thursday and 4 on Friday. And then a shift here on championship day as well. The DC doubleheader starting out, then the A and the B. So far, the returns are good. A capacity crowd for the DC doubleheader and another good one here this afternoon for the A championship contest. Still more to come, so keep it here on Pass. And one of your sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Pershing Doughboys leading the lead at the intermission here at halftime. Up at the top of the Breslin, Rick Berkey along once again with our guest analyst Marshall Thomas. And Marshall, again, we mentioned the tempo continues to be up, scoring down a bit, but not the action. Let's talk a little bit about that first half once again. Ron Adams for Pershing, a very impressive half.
Definitely. For Pershing so far, they've had a number of people that have stepped up, probably somewhat unsuspectingly, other than maybe from their own coaching staff. Walden has more than neutralized Antonio Smith. Ron Adams has maybe playing his best game of the year.
Antonio, though, what's really impressed me about him, not only he's had a big game already and some numbers impressive, but getting the shots blocked. I want to venture that maybe he had more shots blocked in that first half than he had all year put together, but it didn't seem to deter him. He's come back, and you can see him gaining momentum inside.
I can speak of this young man, and this young man has all the qualities that it takes to be a very good basketball player. He's every much as much a good person as he is a basketball player.
What do you look for in the second half as far as changes?
Well, I don't think that either team would want to change anything. I think that Pershing, in order to win this game, they've got to keep doing the things that they've gone. And seemingly everything is going in their behalf. Northern wants to continue to doing something, but get some more people in on the action. Cleaves has been the leader, but they haven't been a one-man squad all year. They've got to get some of their other scorers doing some things also.
Well, stick around for more of this, and this is the MHSA on Pass.
Hey, nice to have you return with us. It's halftime here at Breslin Student Event Building. And right now we have got a 44-37 halftime lead. Detroit Pershing over Flint Northern. I'm Ray Lane. John Spooner's here. And I got to tell you what, we both went in and changed our shirts and put new shirts on. We had to go to the locker room. That was fast pace as we take a look at those famous stats right now.
Well, the field goal percentage right away jumps out at you. 61% from the field. That's phenomenal in high school basketball. Of course, most of those were layups, so the inside game was good for them. The other thing that is really interesting is the rebounds. Both about the same, Northern and Pershing, both the same as far as offensive rebounds. Northern usually out-rebounds their opponent by 18 or 20 a game, so Pershing has done a good job on the boards as well.
And the turnovers almost the same, 7 and 8. You got a chance right now to talk a little bit about one of your favorite players in this tournament. And number 24, we're talking about Flint Northern.
Well, Mateen Cleaves is so strong. You see him weave through 3 or 4 players, and he's got the upper body strength to just nicely put the ball inside. Here we have Winfred Walton just playing the game of his career. Big block on Robert Smith. Gets the outlet look. A good big man will get the ball up court as quick as possible. Nice passes. There's Charles LaSure looking up court. Doesn't see anything, but he's willing to take the pass inside. And Pershing always attacking the basket. A dish off over and excellent ball movement. Clarence Odom with the finish up.
And now you're talking about Charles LaSure. We look at the stats, individual stats all of a sudden. He has got 5 blocked shots. One of the smaller guys on the court, but I guess he can get airborne. By the way, Flint Northern with points in the paint, 10, and Detroit Detroit Pershing, with 20. Sean Ruspert decides that he'll take in a little bit of this high school Class A championship.
Well, Sean's probably sitting here thinking, this is not a high school game. This looks like some of the Big Ten games I've played in, the way it's been going up and down the court.
Take a look at a couple of those moves. If Mateen Cleaves, he might say, hey, I might be able to use a couple of those moves. Yes, we're at the Breslin Center, East Lansing, Michigan, on the campus of Michigan State University. Nice to have you along for this Class A championship game.
key here in the second half, Ray, for Flint Northern is just like Marshall Thomas said. They've got to get other people involved, particularly Robert Smith and Deontay Harvey.
Robert Smith saving that one that time. Comes back to Cleaves. Cleaves drives, dishes off. Found the open man at the baseline, Antonio Smith.
What's happened now, Mateen has done a great job scoring penetration first half. Pershing knows that. The defense drew to him. Antonio Smith wide open for the easy dunk.
And the pressure and double team this time by Flint Northern. Walton surprised nobody was coming out to meet him there. Put up the shot and wouldn't go.
Even though Pershing got a hand there offensively, once again Antonio Smith around the ball, and he knocked it out the hands of Pershing. Here you see Mateen drawing the defense to him, and Antonio Smith wide open jam.
Robert has his shot. Robert Smith has his shot, but takes it off the floor and comes back. Walton with 2 blocks on that play, and then a foul underneath, grabbing the arm.
The last one, Walton might have got away with a push on Robert, but give Robert some credit there, Ray. He got a block, wasn't upset. Here's the first block. Watch what happens. Into the backboard, perfectly legal. Robert stays with it, aggressively goes back to it. Winford Walton again, another block. He's on his way to setting a state finals record for block shots, I'm sure, in the game.
He's got 7 block shots in this game right now. First foul, personal foul on LeSueur. And just finds a way and starts out just the way he did in the first half. Torrey Gist.
If other people can get active offensively for Northern, it will relieve some pressure from Antonio Smith and Mateen Cleaves.
Pershing, their lead cut to 3, loose ball. And it'll belong to Pershing. A real hustle there and down the line. He just had the ball in his possession, stepped on the outbound. Looked like a loose ball going out.
Almost a great play by Deontay Harvey. Great camera work, watching the official right. Oh, great call. Right on the line, but that was almost an outstanding play by Deontay Harvey.
Jason Poe checks in now for Pershing, number 24. He'll operate out of the backcourt for him. Team up with his partner, Charles LeSueur.
Nice camera work on that line shot, guys. Officials will love that.
Robert Smith now, as they put him on Walton. Ball stolen that time, and Cleaves says, all right, let's get things going. And Cleaves showing a little emotion after making that shot. And Northern within 1. Detroit Pershing wants a timeout. So with 6:19 to go in the third quarter, Pershing's lead has been cut to 44-43. And one of your sponsors is the Michigan Abstinence Partnership. And we're back at Pershing trying to find some scoring if they can. They had a halftime score of 44.
And the key was that half court with a double team. Mateen just huge on the slam. I mean, this guy's only listed about 6 foot, but he just went up powerful with that slam dunk. A lot of emotion, and I'm telling you, Ray, that's the first time I have ever seen in 3 years that kind of emotion on Mateen Cleaves' face.
3-point effort that time by Pershing, and it would not go, and drop for LeSueur, and winds down to Flint Northern. Quick pass into Robert Smith. He couldn't make it, but he was fouled underneath, and that'll be Jason Poe's second personal foul. But what a great dish off and pass, long distance wise, coming from Cleaves.
A dish off. This guy's at half court. Look at the power of that arm. This is like a quarterback rifling a 30-yard pass. Robert doing a good job going strong to the basket, did not put the ball down on the floor. Had he done that, it probably would have been blocked.
Robert Smith with only a couple of points in this game, and still with only a couple of points in this game. Substitution coming out now as LeSueur checks out for Pershing.
The difference in this half so far has been the defensive pressure of Northern. They're double teaming, they're collapsing on Pershing and hassling Pershing, which Pershing had done to them in the first half.
Smith hits on that second effort from the line. The pressure applied by Flint Northern. The long pass is stolen by Flint Northern. Now double team, just gets it back. Cleaves passing in. Antonio Smith with a layup. And hello, Flint Northern goes out in front, 46-44.
Somebody just woke up those fans.
We got ourselves quite a game, folks. Antonio Williams trying to dish off. And Antonio Smith comes in and ties up Ram Adams' possession arrow belonging to Detroit Pershing.
Well, Ram Adams tried to force that time, and not a good idea against Antonio Smith.
5:33 to go here in the
Again, another lob inside, but look at the body control. Antonio Smith, actually good defensive work there by Ram Adams, but Smith just enough control to get it in.
Williams that time trying to hand it off if he could pass it over to Clarence Odom off his arm and out, and that's a 12th turnover against the Pershing Doughboys. Bear Smith solving the problem. Reverse layup won't go, but the arm came down and drew the foul underneath. And this one might be against Walton. Let's check it out.
Winford Walton really had one of two choices. He could have either tried to go with the pass and anticipate the pass, or stay with Mateen Cleaves and try to block the shot. You see him going up and got him low with the body, but Mateen Cleaves, such a tremendous athlete, that it really fooled Walton. He didn't know whether he was going to go over to the weak side to Deontay Harvey or take it to the hole.
Cleaves with 18 points so far in this ball game.
Shoots 71%.
Check it out. Give him 20,
line.
give him 21 points in the game. At 18 at halftime.
His high for the season, Ray, is 33 points.
2 at the line. So give him 22. And give Flint Northern a 4-point lead of 48-44. Pershing yet to score here in the second half in this third quarter. Having a shot blocked and then off the fingertips, and this is the biggest lead that Northern has had.
This is almost the identical reversal of what we saw in the first quarter. Now it's Northern with the aggressive defense and the quick blocks. Oh, good foul there by Torrey Gist. Walton's got to settle down and realize that what else did he expect Gist to do? He's not going to give him an easy dunk.
5:09 to go in the third quarter. And just picking up only his second personal foul.
Nice job by the official. Brought both players together. Said, fellas, let's play the game. Let's tone it down. Walton slows down his anger. Here's the aggressive move inside. Toriano Williams. Ball goes out of bounds off of Winford Walton's leg. We see the push there by Walton. And both teams kind of going at each other, a little bit emotional, but officials doing a good job keeping things under control.
Well, Walton 1 for 2 at the free throw line to make it a 48-45 ball game. Quick outlet comes down. And Cleaves, an offensive foul that time coming in and owning possession of that real estate was Clarence Odom.
Yeah, and Mateen knew it too. As he went up in the air, he used his arm to gain an advantage. You see it on the replay here. The rule is as long as you use your arm to protect yourself, fine, but you see him push off, and the official right on top of the call. We didn't get to see it, but Mateen was nodding his head saying, yeah, good call.
Toriano Williams out of control, has the ball stripped from him. We get a whistle back here, though.
No basket.
And it'll be no basket, but I believe it will belong to Flint Northern.
Well, after the ball was stolen out of Toriano Williams' hands, he fell into Antonio Smith. They called offensive foul on Toriano Williams.
He'll pick up his second personal foul, 4th team foul.
Great position there by Antonio
Pershing.
Smith. Toriano Williams saying, hey, you got me on the hand first. Every once in a while when you try those long up-court passes, they come back to haunt you. Pershing will get the ball underneath their own basket. So far in this quarter, Winford Walton has been a little bit quiet offensively. Pershing may want to try to get him the ball, get him active here.
Stand corrected. Williams with 3 fouls. Walton shot way out, hitting nothing. Just coming down, quickly getting down on that forecourt.
Northern comfortable in setting up in a half-court offense. Move the ball perimeter until they get somebody open inside.
Took a quick look that time to Antonio Smith. Nothing was there. And there there's something that we haven't seen. Deontay Harvey hits for his first 3. In fact, his first points of the ball game.
He averages 13 a game. He only had 6 in the semis, but if they can get him on track outside, that'll be a tremendous lift for Northern.
Shot that time is taken by Adams. It goes no place. It goes out of bounds. And Flint Northern leading 51-45 with 4:15 to go in the third quarter.
And a lot of people looking at Detroit Pershing think of last year's team that made it to the finals, but they lost 6 of their top 8 players last year.
That time the turnover was not that costly as Walton missed the easy layup. 2-on-1 for Flint Northern. Bucket won't drop, but the foul is called. Charles Lasser was trying to come back there and help out. He was on the arm. He'll pick up his second personal foul.
The point I wanted to make, he did a good job going inside by Deontay Harvey. He's been a lot more aggressive in this half. I'm sure he got a talking to by Coach Holliday at halftime. But the point about Pershing is only about 2 or 3 of these players played at all last year, Ray. So when you talk about experience of getting here, these guys really haven't had the experience, whereas Northern, these guys have been in the semifinals. These guys have played in pressure situations. The experience factor really is more heavily in favor of Northern than it is in Pershing.
Harvey putting that one up for a free throw. He'll try for the second one, and yes, Deontay Harvey with a couple of free throws now. What do we got, about a 15-4 run? 16-1 run. Flint Northern in this half.
Credit it all to the Northern defense. Trapping aggressively at the beginning of the half. Got him.
Cole putting it up, and he was fouled on the arm just as he released. That one is going to be called against Deontay Harvey, his first personal foul. And the shooting foul and going to the line will be Jason Poe.
Detroit Pershing not normally a good outside shooting team. They rely more on the penetration and the dish off inside to get their scoring. That time Jason Poe, a 6'1" junior, got fouled on a 15-foot jump shot. 65% from the free throw line.
That's his first point of this ball game.
Pershing only 58% as a team from the free throw line.
And can't get that one to drop, so we got a 53-46 ball game. Flint Northern on top of Detroit Pershing. That pass picked up by Toriano Williams, dishes back to Poe. The easy layup.
24, Poe.
Pressure applied, Robert Smith. Covered there by Williams. Cleaves with it, bounce pass for Just. Just a nice head fake, he's quick. And the shot would not drop that time for Harvey. Putback won't go.
That's a putback that Robert has got to be able to finish. Haven't heard from him too much in this game, but that's an opportunity you can't afford to pass up.
That's a second long-range shot that Walton's taken. He hasn't hit anything. Got to break their time as it was flicked out of bounds by Flint Northern.
This is what happened with Winford Walton in the semifinals against Cooley. He started playing outside, not staying inside where his strength was, and so the outside jumper didn't go for him, but the rebound by number 14, Toriano Williams, looked like he actually got fouled from behind by Torrey Gist, but the official didn't see it, and the ball would be out of bounds, not a shooting situation.
Number 42, LaQuint Lewis is checked in for Pershing. Lasser with the ball, and Williams now trying to get around Massey. There's Lewis wearing 42.
Aggressive 2-3 zone, trap to the corners.
Williams tries to Walton. Walton found a handle, couldn't get the ball to drop. Loose ball picked up by Williams. Tries to draw the foul and does draw the foul underneath. Just checking in the game was Robert Garth, and he picks up his first personal.
Toriano Williams did a good job baseline, getting Garth out of position, and once he knew he was out of position, took the ball up strong and picked up the foul.
2:42 to go in this third quarter. Pershing trailing 53-48.
They see the nice head fake there, got Garth up in the air, and Toriano Williams smart enough to go back up with a shot, thereby he gets 2 free throws.
And Williams goes to the line looking for his first point of the second half. Had 10 in the first, won't go.
Pershing only 58% for the season as a team.
And that could be a killer coming down to the wire in a close ball game. And you see right there evidence of it.
As long as Northern continues to get the defensive rebounds off the missed free throws, they'll be fine.
From the corner, nothing but net for Deontay Harvey. He may be warming up for the second half.
Credit Mateen Cleaves again, drew the defense to him. Deontay Harvey wide open on the wing. You cannot leave him open. And Mateen got him the ball nicely. Good follow through in the jump shot. Three was good.
Williams trying to make something happen, so is Lasser, and they're trying to get Walton free, but every time he's momentarily free, somebody comes back out and gives a little help. Williams uses glass. Walton tries to get the handle on it, but couldn't do it. And rebounded by Massey. Follow up that time on a good play as a trailer, Mateen Cleaves.
Well, half the Detroit Pershing team was still at half court. They're going to call a timeout. I'm sure Johnny Ghostin saw that. Nobody getting back on defense. A 5-on-2 fast break opportunity for Northern.
A minute and 50 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Northern has opened up that lead now by a score of 58-48.
Half the team behind the Northern players. That's what he's so upset about. 4 Northern players inside 15 feet and only 1 Pershing defender.
Pershing led at the half, 44-37, but it's been all Flint Northern.
Mateen Cleaves again, so strong. Young man, starting quarterback for the football team, has really quarterbacked this team here in the second half.
Winville Walton has been denied after scoring 14 points in the first half to just 1 free throw. As you take a look at that field goal percentage in this half, Northern increasing up to 64%, and they had been not shooting that well in the first half. Field goals in this half, Pershing 1 for 11, 7 from the field out of 11 attempts by Flint Northern. Videotapes of this year's MHSAA boys basketball semifinals and finals are available for purchase through Advanced Video Service. Now, each game is $22.95 and may be ordered by writing Advanced Video Service, 5547 Columbiaville Road, Columbiaville, Michigan. The zip on that is 48421, and allow 2 to 4 weeks for delivery.
You know, Ray, Flint Northern, having lost the last 2 years in the semis, this year's team with 6 of its top 8 players being seniors, they've had a singular focus this year. A lot of coaches have played against them, said they've noticed a totally different Northern attitude. Nobody's upset, nobody gets angry. There's just a focus, a mental thing with Northern, and that's getting to the finals. They've gotten here to the finals, and with leaders like Mateen Cleaves and Antonio Smith, they are bound and determined that they will come away with a victory. This team all year long has weathered storms, have weathered problems. They did that in the first half, and here in the third quarter, they have coming out very dominant with Mateen and Antonio Smith, and this 2-3 trapping zone defense have done outstanding here in the third quarter against Pershing.
All right, they come into this game 25-1. John Ghostin not really happy. The coach of Pershing say, come on, sit down here on the bench. I want to talk about strategy. One of his players, and that happened to be Clarence Odom, went way down to the end of the bench, and he wants Odom next to him to talk to him as it comes down here with 1 minute and 41 seconds left in the third quarter, and his team trailing by 10.
Again, you see the 2-3 zone. They'll trap the ball whenever it gets to the corner, forcing the outside shot.
And taking that shot that time was Robin Anderson. It wouldn't drop for him. And Robin, I thought maybe there might be a blocking or a charge call, but instead they call it traveling.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. Mateen got away with a little bit of a shuffle there before. Good outlet pass, though. But watch Mateen. You can see he picks the ball up and kind of shuffles. The defense coming up. Good call by the official, Robin Anderson, doing a good job playing on defense for Pershing.
All right, the turnovers all even here at 13 apiece. So it must be doing something for Flint Northern, and that might be in the second half. A little more aggressiveness, some better shooting, as you saw those field goal percentages, and sort of block it out a little bit. Walt, his little right-hand shot would not go. Massey comes down with the rebound.
You better quit crying to the officials and get back and play defense.
Quick pass underneath. And LeSueur comes in there and grabs the arm of Robert Garth. So LeSueur will pick up his foul, a personal foul. And that is his second personal foul.
Robert Garth, 48% from the free throw line. Flint Northern, 64% as a team.
Pershing with 16 fouls. 4 so far have been called against Flint Northern in the second half. And one of the mainstays, Mateen Cleaves, has twisted that leg or ankle and has come off for Flint Northern, trying to walk it off behind the bench.
He may have got a cramp or a Charlie horse that one time where he got called for the travel. We saw him kind of grab his leg and hobble off to the bench. That'd be a huge blow for Northern if they lose him, but I don't think they're going to lose him for the game, Ray. He may not come back the rest of this quarter, but I guarantee you Mateen Cleaves will be back somehow in the fourth quarter.
Pershing's coach, John Ghostin, really using his bench now in this ballgame. Jawan Williams, a sophomore, checking in. He's a guard at 5'8", 155 pounds. Meanwhile, Garth hits the free throw.
Ghostin has no problem substituting. He's always used 8 or 9 players. What he's hoping to do is create some defensive intensity for these guys off the bench. He doesn't care whether they pick up a foul or not. He really wants them to be very aggressive.
LeSueur. And now Poe trying to break it. Here's the long pass to the young man who just checked in there. Williams, Jawan Williams. Poe looking inside so far. He'll shoot over the zone. It won't go. Antonio Williams has the ball knocked out of his hand after the rebound.
That's exactly what Northern wants them to do. That's what this zone has forced them all third quarter. Take the long outside shot, then they come down with a defensive rebound.
Got to make the shot. You don't do it. That's all there is. We're down to 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Just dishes off. Antonio Smith that time goes in for the layup. Perfect spot to be in. And they knew exactly what they were doing. Down to 15 seconds. Loading it up for 3, and he hits, and that's Jawan Williams.
33, Jawan Williams.
61-51, back to a 10-point spread between Northern and Detroit Pershing. Just loses it. Had a little time on it. Poe puts it up, won't go. We played 3 quarters of Class A basketball. So take a deep breath. Flint Northern 61, Detroit Pershing 51. 8 more minutes to go. We'll see what develops. This is the MHSAA taking place on Pass. All right, we're checking after 3 quarters of play in this game, and Flint have kicked it up there where they have scored 36 points in the paint, 20 points, and that was what it was at the half for Pershing. So they've had to go outside, exactly what you were talking about, John Spooner, shoot him the outside, and so far they've only picked up 7 points. That is Pershing, and we're watching Flint Northern zoom out to that 10-point lead.
Well, great halftime adjustment by Tony Holiday. One of the aggressive, great pass inside by Torrey Gist to Antonio Smith. That's the one thing they've turned around at halftime. They're willing to penetrate and dish the ball off inside to the big people. Defensively, Ray, they have done an outstanding job of trapping the ball, forcing the turnover from Pershing, as well as sagging into the defense, the 2-3 zone, forcing the outside jump shot. Pershing, not a good outside shooting team, and as long as Northern keeps doing that, they've got a great shot at winning this.
All right, Northern will inbound us to get the fourth quarter underway. Deontay Harvey. And now coming back into the lineup, Mateen Cleaves. So good to see him back in there. Faked the shot like he was going to the basket, and a bullet shot that went to the big guy, Antonio Smith, for the slam.
And that was not a shot, people. He
That's
actually
right.
passed it, knowing on the spin that Antonio Smith would be there.
Now Walt with about a 15-foot turnaround. Boy, he has had a hard time in this second half. Cleaves, good fake, puts it up, uses the glass. One go, Antonio Smith. Couldn't get it to drop, but he's fouled underneath.
Ray, good transition always starts with a good outlet pass. Credit Robert Smith. He got the rebound, pivoted quickly out to Mateen Cleaves. Here's the alley-oop. This is not a shot. This is a pass. His eyes knew exactly where Antonio Smith would be. These guys have played together for 4 years. They know exactly what's happening.
Walton picks up his third personal foul on that play. By the way, Flint Northern shooting 47% now, Pershing at 45%. Rebounding pretty close here, maybe just one away, 28-27. With Pershing having the edge there.
Antonio Smith already with 13 rebounds, 6 of those offensive. The young man averages 20 rebounds a game.
And Antonio hits on the charity stripe to complete that play. And to make it 51, he hits 2 for 2 to make it 64-51.
Again, Pershing forced to stay outside perimeter. The jump shot hasn't been able to drop for them. They can't get anything going in the middle because of this zone. Now you see a 3-2 zone with the 2 big people down low, the Smith brothers down low on a 3-2 zone.
Monsieur trying to find something open underneath, can't do it. Comes back out and has the ball stolen as Gis will drive and body contact that time, and he pays it as Jason Poe puts a shoulder into him.
Well, nothing's going to come easy in this game between these two teams, and as well it should. Not a bad foul there at all. But the 3-2 zone, that's the strength of it. It shuts off the outlet pass to the high post, and you saw Torrey Gist going in very strong, getting a foul. He'll have a chance to shoot 2.
Poe picks up the foul, third personal.
Tony Holliday, coach for Flint Northern, has done such a great job mixing up the defenses. 2-3 defense, 3-2 defense, frustrating Pershing. Remember, these kids from Pershing did not play a whole lot last year, so they don't have the experience that Northern does.
And it's Torrey Gist hitting the threads that time with the first free throw.
Gist, the best free throw shooter on the team at 82%.
And you can see why. 66-51. Flint Northern opening up that lead a little bit more with 6:49 to go. Poe, double team, had no place to go. Great reaction and quickness on that Flint Northern defense. They cover. If there's a seam there, it's shut down in a hurry.
That's the beauty of the 3-2 zone, Ray. If they do get it inside, problems, but with big fellas underneath, Northern has not allowed Pershing to penetrate past the free throw line extended.
Going for 3, and Poe hits it that time. Found the open man on the dish out.
And that is huge. Pershing can get that shot to knock down, and maybe Northern would have to change their defense, and that allows Pershing to do something else.
Northern leads 66-54 with 6:20 to go in the ball game. Antonio Smith outside, little looper inside to his brother Robert. Good fake, came around. What a play that was. So that was a Smith family duet that time.
If there's ever a time for Robert to come alive, that was the time. A great baseline move inside.
Poe loads it up, won't go, and coming down is Cleaves with the rebound for Flint Northern. 68-54 with 5:55 to go in the ball game.
Northern has also done something else good, Ray. They've not allowed Pershing an offensive rebound yet in this half. That's just outstanding defensive boards.
Antonio couldn't find it. Poe comes down with the rebound. And hurriedly coming down court now is Emerson. This telecast is copyrighted production of the Michigan High School Athletic Association at Pass Sports. No reproduction or transmission of the fixtures or accounts of this game may take place without the express written permission of the MHSAA and Pass. 5:36 to go, 68-54. Northern on top of Detroit Pershing. Here you go on that last pass in.
Watch this baseline move by Robert. Got away with a little bit of a hook, but most big guys are able to do that. Robert not having what he considers one of his best games, but if there's a time to score the 2, that's the time to do it.
It was 44-37 and a half. Detroit Pershing on top. 5:36 remaining in this ball game. Flint Northern on a 31-10 run this half. And oh my.
Well, I don't know what Tony Holliday said at halftime, but if I were a coach, I would have sure hoped he would have taped that and shipped it off to every coach in the country. Because whatever he said and whatever he did certainly has changed this game around for Northern.
Well, our statistician, Larry Cernick, we want to thank you very much for keeping us up. What a great job. A math major and his brilliance today right here.
Well, that's interesting because Antonio Smith's favorite class is pre-calculus. I'm sure he's going to go to the locker room after this game and figure out the pre-calculus on the strategy of how many rebounds factored in against Walton in his block shots and what that means for their victory as he looks forward to pulling this one out. Northern leading by 14 points.
Antonio with 13 rebounds so far in this ball game.
You know, we talked about Antonio Smith. His mom wanted him to play basketball. He wanted to play soccer. His mom said, you're going to go out for basketball. He actually snuck out of the house, didn't go to practice, sat around the back door. His mom finally said, look, you've got to go. I'm glad his mom said you need to go to practice.
Exactly right, and so are the Spartans of Michigan State.
Antonio Smith's mom herself a great basketball player in her day.
Rainbow dropped in that time for Torres. Whoa. 71-54. The Doughboys got to get something going.
Difference for Northern in this half, Ray, is so many people like Gist being active that weren't in the first half.
3-on-1, a shot goes down and foul. As Deontay Harvey lays it up for 2.
A lot of people last year thought this Northern team was the better team. Cleaves again with a strong pass inside. Deontay Harvey taking the ball to the hole. He has picked up his game here in the second half, scoring 0 points in the first half. In the second half, he's really upped his game.
Emerson charged with the foul. Yeah, he didn't have anything to show for it at all, did he? In that first half, nothing.
I think one of the things Holiday might have said, all 10 of those points coming in the second half, might have told him in the halftime is, fellas, a lot of you guys will get your game going here in the second half. Just trust yourself, have confidence that what got you here will get you back into this game.
On the field in this half, he's 3 for 4. And 3 for 9 for the game. That'll tell you what's been happening. Williams has the shot blocked that time. And there's nobody back at all. And the layup. Cleaves lays it up for his first 2 of the fourth quarter.
That's how Northern can play the 3-2 zone. They don't worry about the penetration. If somebody does get by the top 3 players, Antonio Smith and Robert in the back to make sure and take care of business.
They have opened it up to 76-54. Flint Northern leading Detroit Pershing in the Class A championship.
Deontay Harvey there knocking the ball out of bounds. Northern just a totally different team in this half, dominating Pershing, using their experience to their advantage. 2 completely games. If you want to break it down with halves, I'll tell you that. Pershing on the first half, and it's been all Flint Northern here in the second half. And a 76-54 lead by Northern over Detroit Pershing. Little dish off the basket. Are they going to count it? Yep. No basket. No basket. Good fake, and that may be the 4th foul underneath. Well, again, Mateen doing such a, watch him, he draws the defense to him. Everybody comes into him, dishes it off to Robert. Robert with a nice little fake, gets Walton up in the air. Basket will not count. The foul was on the floor. Robert still goes to the free throw line for the 1+1.
And Walton with his 4th personal foul. Second half has been a nightmare for him.
Well, it sure has. He started off so strong in the first half, and it felt so good for him as far as him playing personally, but in the second half, things just fell apart. Nothing went his way, and I think, Ray, it started when he started going outside and taking those long jump shots instead of going inside where he has the strength.
And after that, just completely denied. He just blocked a shot now. If I'm right, that might be his 8th block shot of the game. That might be a new state record.
Hey, Bear.
14.
Williams gets the layup that time. So if there's a bright spot, that would be it, but I don't think much. Cleaves with the layup, the underhand variety that time.
And look at the defenders from Northern all getting back on defense.
Poe loads it up. The rebound belongs to Flint Northern. Cleaves behind the back, but off the fingertips as Poe was back there to knock it out of bounds. 79-56. Flint Northern, 3:32 to go in this game.
Classic fast break move. Take the ball inside. Nobody comes on you, then you go to the hole yourself. Mateen Cleaves knows how to play basketball. You see the move, crossover dribble, nobody picked him up, just takes it in strong. Great upper body strength.
The Vikings have outscored the Doughboys in the second half, 42-12. Result adds up to 79-56.
That's an absolute amazing turnaround. But you've got to give a lot of credit to these Northern kids. In the first half, they could have folded, but they got 6 of the top 8 players are seniors. They've lost the last 2 years in the semis. They've earned the right to be here in the finals, and these seniors want to make sure they leave with what they know they deserve.
Well, some of those seniors coming out of the lineup now as Tony Holliday goes to his bench to get in his reserves here with 3:32 remaining. Meanwhile, Lasir comes back in for Detroit Pershing.
Winford Walton there on the bench, pretty frustrated with himself, but he's had a great career for Detroit Pershing, and he's only a junior, so he'll be back next year. Yeah. The only problem for Walton is solo Mateen Cleaves for Northern.
And winding it up with it, this Cleaves wanted to go baseline that time. He is so quick.
Great first step explosion.
Wow. And puts it up, won't go. Rebounded by Ram Adams. 3-point effort for Lasir, won't do it, but the rebound and put back. Clarence Odom hits for 2 and draws a foul. Has a chance to convert it to 3 points.
Well, I thought we'd seen the last of Antonio Smith and Robert, but they're coming back into the game.
I did too. I thought they were going to sit down and say, well, we'll wait till next time. Winford Walton with 8 blocks, as we saw that. That ties the record.
You know, the interesting thing, Ray, is that the all-time state finals record for boys and girls, I think, is 10, held by a freshman from Flint Northern, Tawana McDonald. She set it this year with 10 blocked shots in a game, 8 of those in the first half, as Flint Northern girls team won the Class A state championships in December.
Tell it to the girls. Nice going. All right. We're down to just about 3 minutes remaining in this Class A championship game. And Flint Northern up by 20-point margin. And reaching out and touching someone that time, LaQuint Lewis. He makes the foul. Going to the line, the guy that's had a good game, Torrey Gist, and he started out pretty good fashion in the early moments of this game.
Torrey Gist, at the very beginning of the game, Ray, as you pointed out, kind of was the catalyst that kept this team together. And everybody else was struggling a little bit. Torrey handled the ball, did pretty good against the pressure, did not turn the ball over in the first half. Remember, they only had 2 turnovers in the first half at Flint Northern. So while the pressure Pershing did what it wanted in the first half, Torrey Gist did a great job. And in the second half, he was outstanding on that double team, the trap, the steals, very active going to the basket.
He'll go again. See if he can make it 2 out of 2. He's 4 from 4 from the line in this second half. Torrey just 135 pounds, 252. Robert Smith blocks the shot that time, and it comes back to Flint Northern. Long pass, just a little too much.
Come on, Antonio. You got to jump for that.
Smith.
He won't be able to do that next year for Tom Izzo here in the gym. Here's the block by Robert Smith. Good extension up in the air, Northern looking back up court.
3-point effort will not drop that time, attempted by Robin Anderson.
Yeah, things are
just giving it back and forth that time. Robert Smith could not hang on to it.
Yeah, it's going to get a little bit sloppy here toward the end of the game. Both coaches going to start getting other players in off the bench, give them some experiences. I'm really surprised that Tony Holliday still has Antonio and Robert in. But you know, these guys have worked so hard, and the last 2 years have been so disappointed after the semifinal losses. 2 years ago to Benton Harbor, last year to the Pershing team. And I know he wants to let them feel as much as they can the enjoyment of coming away with a state championship.
Hey, will that go? You don't think he owes one to John Goshen, too?
Oh, no. Coaches never think that way.
Oh, sure they do. 2:26 to go, 81-59. Flint Northern leading Detroit Pershing. Jim Zenna has been our producer. Earlier today, Ken Taylor, our director, Larry Cernick, our statistician, and Danielle Tynan. Thank you for being our A down here and keeping us going. The 4th time a school has won a girls and boys title in the same school year. Flint Northwestern girls twice over Okemos, 81 and in 1982. Nice going, gang.
And remember that Flint Northern has already won the state Class A wrestling championships, as well as what you pointed out, the girls team back in December. So now Flint Northern will have 3 state champions in 1 year.
Just couldn't get that free throw to drop for him. We've got an 81-59 ball game, and we're just picking up the pieces here to go with 2 minutes to go. Antonio Smith, he had ideas of going above the rim. He said, no, I'm not going to give you showtime yet.
I tell you, that young man's got an awful lot of class, and he's going to make a lot of Michigan State fans next year very proud to have him on the team. I think he can be an impact player, Ray. He may not start right away next year as a freshman, but I'll tell you something, next year he'll jump up in the starting lineup somewhere along the line during his freshman year.
For John Ghostin of Pershing, at least a chance to play some of his 10th graders. Darius Acuff checks in. Get a little experience. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he progresses in the college level.
Yeah, I'd look for Tony Holiday to get some of his subs in here pretty soon.
22, Kareem King.
A lot of people might be wondering, why hasn't he done it yet? Remember, most of these guys on the court are seniors. They really want to finish this. They deserve the opportunity, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons he's keeping them in the game.
Launching up on top of the backboard and out of bounds. And so the ball inbound will belong to Detroit Pershing with 1:10 to go. By the way, one of those youngsters that came in for Pershing, Kareem King, able to hit for 2 points. So he'll remember that. And what a handshake, what a crowd pleaser over there for Flint Northern as Mateen Cleaves goes to the bench. His teammates swamping him a little bit, razzing him a little bit, but what a game he had and what a championship.
And no question about his turnaround play in the third quarter to get this started.
Well, Bear Smith winds up with it with 50 seconds to go. Massey almost has it stolen, but instead he's fouled from behind as Kareem King is charged with the foul for Detroit Pershing. All academic now with 47 seconds, .9 left on the game clock, 83-61. And a hand for a lot of guys coming out. Antonio Smith is one of them.
Antonio Smith playing his last game in a Flint Northern uniform, but not his last game in this gym. Tremendous athlete, struggled the last 2 years after losing the semifinals, but came back here strong this year. This whole Northern team focused on one thing, the state championships.
LeBear Smith checks out now. He comes out of there. He's got another year of eligibility.
Well, this will be now, I believe, the 9th state championship for Flint Northern, Ray. That's more than any other high school team.
Absolutely right. 8 Class A titles, last one in 1978. Pontiac Central, they knocked off that year, 67-56. And then the early years of when they won it. Down to 30 seconds remaining. And Massey puts in his first 2. He's seen a lot of action in this game, but he's played a good defensive game.
Now appropriate for Massey because he's also a senior. He'll be leaving, so that was a real fitting 2-point. He comes out of the game now. He's got his 2 points on the books for the state finals.
Sherrod Schuler checks in for young Mr. Antoine Massey. Antone Massey. Oh, Kareem King hitting for 3 from outside. Just wants to remind the coach of what he can do for next season. And whistle and a foul underneath. We're down to 5.5 seconds remaining.
Well, what you've got now, you've got 2 different teams on the court. Now you've got the guys that most of them played JV ball, didn't get a whole chance. So this is a brand new game for them, Ray. In the last 20 seconds, the score is 2-0 in favor of Pershing. So they got their own game going right now.
Well, as you mentioned, a couple of guys left from that Pershing team last year thinking they got back here, maybe they could take advantage, and couldn't do it. And I want to tell you what, I'd heard an awful lot about the Flint Northern team this year until I saw them in the semifinals. Really impressed not only with Antonio Smith and his brother Robert, but this overall team speed, and of course certainly the great play of Cleaves.
Absolutely, but give a lot of credit to Detroit Pershing.
And I tell you, final buzzer, and there it is as Flint Northern wraps up the Class A crown, the championship of boys basketball. They won it 86-64. We're going to come right back. Don't go away. One of your sponsors is True Value Hardware.
Thank you.
Flint Northern scores 40 of the first 50 points in the second half and rolls to a 22-point win over Detroit Pershing. The 9th state championship, as John and Ray talked about, a state record. Congratulations. Now for the awards presentation, let's go down to PA announcer Eric Forsythe.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the presentation of the championship trophies and medals, let's acknowledge these two fine teams for their achievements this year and their play here today. At this time, we direct your attention to center court, where Roy Allen, Director of Health, Physical Education, and Safety for the Detroit Public Schools, member of the Michigan High School Athletic Association Representative Council, will make the awards presentations. First, let us honor the runner-up in Class A, the Doughboys of Detroit Pershing. First, we'll present individual medals. Number 10, Charles Emerson. Number 14, Torino Williams. #22, Kareem King. #23, Darius Akoff. #24, Jason Poe. 30, Anthony Chandler. 33, Dewan Williams. 40, Keith Smith. 42, LaQuant Lewis. 52, Bonnie Willis. Number 4, Charles LaSure. Number 12, Robin Anderson. Number 32, Winfred Walton. #34, Ram Adams. And number 44, Clarence Odom. And accepting the runner-up trophy in Class A, Coach Johnny Ghostin. Congratulations to the Doughboys of Detroit Pershing on an outstanding season. And now for the 1995 Michigan High School Athletic Association Class A champions, the Vikings of Flint Northern. First of all, the individual medals. Number 12, Leonard Williams. Number 14, Sherrod Schuler. 22, Antoine Massey. 30, Cale Hairston. 34, Terry Thomas. 40, Lavelle Hamlin. 41, Bobby Bain. 42, Derek Lee. 50, Robert Garth. Number 4, Robert Smith. Number 10, Tori Gist. '24, Mateen Cleaves. '32, Deontay Harvey. And 33, Antonio Smith. And accepting the championship trophy, Coach Tony Holliday. Congratulations to the Vikings of Flint Northern, the 1995 Class A boys basketball champions.
What a victory right there for one of the youngest Viking fans. Congratulations. Stay with us. This is the MHSAA on Pass. Championship Saturday continues here next on Pass with the Class B title match in the 1995 MHSAA Lower Peninsula Girls Volleyball Tournament. Our coverage of the boys basketball finals continues here tonight at 7:30 with the Class B championship game, Detroit Country Day against East Grand Rapids. Your Class A champion is Flint Northern, an 86-64 winner over Detroit Pershing. Now for Ray Lane, John Spooner, Marshall Thomas, and our production crew from TCI Cablevision of Oakland County, I'm Rick Berkey. So long, everybody.